Hello, friends and family, strangers and acquaintances, my future children, and my future self. Apologies again that this is not the Eclipse podcast. I really have no good excuse as to why it's not out. But this particular entry had to be made for its relevancy since we talk about going to Taylor Swift's Eras Tour. Kinda. Don't worry, I'll explain what that means. So without further ado, let's go. All in. Nice to meet you. Where you been? That's what we're going to talk about, where we've been. Not just the podcast, but literally where we've physically been.
Yeah.
We got a lot to talk about. So, what city were we in yesterday?
What city?
Mm-hmm.
We went to East Rutherford, New Jersey.
And for what reason?
For Taylor Swift.
For Taylor motherfucking Swift. Yes, this is going to be another episode about her. No, not this won't all be about her, but we just have to talk about the experience.
Yeah.
Because we saw her ish.
We were in the vicinity of Taylor Swift.
We were. You know, a better word would be is we heard her.
Yeah.
We heard her live, which was great. We didn't end up getting tickets. We did not win the great Ticketmaster war.
Yeah, that didn't happen. And I tried for the pre-sale.
You tried, for the original pre-sale all the way back in, what was it? Was it November, I think it was?
Oh gosh, I don't even remember
of
when it was.
last year, right?
I don't remember what it was.
Well, whenever they first went on sale, and it was just kind of like you randomly got picked with a code. It
was like they you'd get into the queue, and if you got in, you put in like your information, and then like they would send you a code. But a lot of people like didn't get the codes, or they got codes that were faulty and they didn't actually work. So a lot of people who would have gotten tickets otherwise didn't get tickets, or people were getting like booted out of like their carts and stuff. It was a big fiasco.
Right. Yeah. And I was also trying to get tickets at face value, like a few days leading up to when we were gonna go.
Yeah, you did all that TikTok research.
Yeah, I was deep in there.
Yeah. Like
looking for ways to, I don't know, secure tickets at the last minute, face value from Ticketmaster.
I mean, I'll bet it did look good. It did look possible.
It did. And obviously we don't have the means to be paying those resale prices.
Oh no, who does really?
At
sure
the absolute lowest,
super rich.
You'd be lucky for finding them for under $1,000.
Oh yeah, lucky. And like it's obviously not a great seat. Like if you want like floor tickets, you're paying like $5,000-$10,000. Like
yeah,
you know, it's
holy
a lot.
Shit. Yeah, so that really wasn't an option. Even some of the face value tickets, like anything past like 400, might have not.
Yeah, might have not flown.
We might not have even, if we even got in.
Yeah.
And those were the seats that were left. Like, it might have been a toss-up whether we got them or not. Which, sucks that it's the way that it is.
Yeah.
And, just scalpers and bots.
Yeah, it makes things pretty rough because it's like, because there were multiple times where like, this isn't like our first go-around. Like for trying to get Taylor Swift tickets.
Yeah. Yeah, we originally 1989.
Yeah, 1989.
What, because you were looking into that. Do you remember if it was like this?
No. We could have very easily gotten tickets. Which is part of the reason why I super regret not getting tickets, because it was much easier to get tickets than this. This was insane and unprecedented.
Yeah.
100%. And I'm afraid going forward what Taylor Swift's tours are going to be like. Like, if it's going to consistently be like this, like, we may never get tickets.
Yeah, because, so, like, we have originally wanted to go to the Philly one.
Yeah.
And if you don't know what happened in the Philly tour dates, I assume they were sold out for the most part. But that didn't stop people without tickets from showing up.
Oh, yeah.
I heard like the stadium may have held like 70,000 people, and then it's estimated that outside the stadium, just kind of tailgating and just, listening, about like 20,000 other people.
Yep.
So like just under like 100,000 people like showed up.
Yeah.
Which is crazy.
Which is totally crazy. And like, I knew plenty of people that went to that show, whether it was outside or whether it was inside.
Yeah. I did want to shout out the people that I was following on TikTok who gave great advice on like how to possibly survive the Great War of the Great Ticketmaster War. Shout out to @Jamie's Karma, and also shout out to @Nashes_mom. And also on Twitter, shout out @ErasTourTix. Those were like the three main people I was following along for updates on when tickets were dropping, how to like even get into the queue, like when to refresh, when not to refresh, how the interactive map worked. Even though we didn't get tickets, I'm still grateful that like I was able to watch and see how they did it to possibly give ourselves the best chance of securing tickets. So yeah, we ended up not getting tickets to the East Rutherford show, which she was playing at the MetLife Stadium. I was trying to figure out what were our options, because on MetLife's website, they were very clear that they did not want people coming without a ticket. And it made it very clear that this was not going to be like the Philly show where people could just walk over. Because something you need to know about that area, it's like surrounded by highways. So
yeah,
it's really like not possible for you to like just walk over.
it's not incredibly accessible.
It's really not. It's not like how like the Lincoln Financial Field in Philly is set up.
Yeah, no, not at all.
So
like, you can just walk off the street and go to Lincoln Financial.
yeah, so we weren't even sure what our options were, and eventually settled on going to the American Dream Mall, which is conveniently like right next to it, and just parking in their lots and kind of just listening from there, because I'd found out that you didn't need a ticket to just park at the American Dream Mall, and I believe parking is open 24/7 in those lots. So I'm sure other people were thinking that too. I know other people were thinking that too because we saw so many of them.
Oh, yeah.
But let me back up for a second. I just want to say that I really felt bad for you because you weren't feeling too great.
Oh, yeah.
So I wasn't even sure if like you still wanted to go.
Yeah. For the last few days, I've been feeling, and I'm still feeling pretty crappy.
Yeah, and because like luckily the Saturday before, thankfully, you didn't have to go into work, so you had that day before to rest. But the day of, you still weren't feeling well, so I was just like, oh no. Do you still want to go?
Yeah, it was kind of like up in the air, like whether or not we were, if we were going.
Yeah, so luckily you pulled through.
Yeah.
And I would like to think it was worth it.
Yeah, it was worth it. It was definitely worth it.
Yeah, because we definitely got some crazy stories to tell. So yeah, like I said, we had made it to the American Dream Mall, and the parking lot I kept seeing was the best parking lot to park at, which was parking lot A. When we got there, I don't know if this was the only entrance to it, but they started coning it off, and I was like, oh no.
Like literally as we were getting like to it,
yeah,
they were coning it off.
We were like maybe like 5 cars behind, and looked like they were turning everyone around.
Yeah, exactly.
And I was like, oh no.
So we had to find another place to go.
Yeah. And it's funny, I kind of took a wrong turn and then ended up almost like getting into the line to park at MetLife, which you need a ticket to park there.
Yeah.
And also, I had made a TikTok asking about parking at the American Dream Mall, and they said to park at MetLife, the person that was checking tickets just kind of glanced at them, and they said theoretically, you could just use a an old screenshot of mine from the other night. Obviously, it won't get you in the stadium, but, you know, it might let you park there. And I was like, oh, that's awesome. I will take you up on that offer. And I ended up DMing them on Instagram, and they shared their screenshot with me. So I had that as a backup in case it came down to that. We ended up not using it, but, you know, it was good to have as a backup. So we weren't able to park at Lot A. I think we parked, I can't remember if it was Lot B or Lot C.
I think it was B.
I think it was B too, because that was where I set the directions to, but then it was a little unclear. Anyway, because when we went in, I thought it said Lot A, and I was like, what? But no, I do not think we were in Lot A. I think it was B. I think B and C are right next to each other. Anyway, this is besides the point. Anyone who's never been there, not gonna give a fuck.
We were just very
just
confused.
Get to the story.
Like,
anyway, obviously the ground levels are filling up, but then the top few floors were where we wanted to be, specifically the top floor. And I was a little surprised that when we got there around like 3:00.
Yeah.
And there was plenty of parking.
Yeah, plenty of parking.
I don't know if it ever filled up all the way.
Oh no, it definitely didn't. It definitely didn't fill up at all.
Not all the way, but
but it was busier.
Yeah,
when
lots of people with the same idea.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, as it got closer, for sure.
Yeah.
It started to have more people.
And what was great was that like this parking lot is literally attached to a mall.
Yeah.
And not just any mall. It's the American Dream Mall. It's like, I don't know if it's the biggest, definitely one of the biggest like malls
one of the biggest
in the United States, with lots of like really big attractions. There's like a water park, I think.
There's like a water park. There's like Nickelodeon World. There's like a whole bunch of stuff.
Isn't there a skiing thing?
Yeah, there's like ice skating.
Ice skating? Yeah.
There's also hockey.
Okay.
Yeah.
So really, really, really big mall.
Yeah, then you have the typical like food court mall stuff.
Exactly,
You
yeah.
know, shopping and stuff.
Yeah. There's the first Mr. Beast burger physical location.
Yeah, which is pretty cool.
From Mr. Beast himself.
Yeah. Oh, they do have like those. We found out about the blue laws.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Tell them about the blue laws.
Well, like I guess the blue law, at least for this county that the American Dream Mall is in, is like one of the only counties that still has this like enacted. And it's basically just like certain clothing stores that sell like non-essentials, essentially, is like you're not supposed to like sell on Sundays, which is what when we went, it was a Sunday. So a good portion of the stores were not even open. There were some stores that were, like Hot Topic was and like Box Lunch was, but like any like bigger brands like American Eagle or like any of like the couture type stuff, like none of that was open. But the food and most of the food was. That was fine.
We thought maybe like most of the mall was going to be closed.
Oh yeah.
But no, it was
pretty lively for what it was.
Still pretty lively, yeah.
Yeah, there's definitely still a lot of like lots of stuff going on, even though, you know. Oh, there was a whole Taylor section.
Yeah, there was like
that was pretty cool.
Like a bit of a Taylor. I don't know. It's like a wall that you could like take photos in front of. We took a photo in front of there. It was pretty cool.
It was basically just like the Eras logo.
Yeah, like with all like the multicolored like Taylors.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was cool because like that helped us like pass the time before the concert started. It wasn't just like we were just waiting in a parking lot for hours.
Yeah.
And then we made a decision because we noticed that we could potentially walk to Lot A, which was closer to the stadium, and just see, you know, how it sounded from there.
Yeah, because the sound wasn't super good.
Yeah, I realized, I was like, oh, this is a bit underwhelming.
Yeah.
I thought, I don't know, I just thought it was going to be like super loud to like where you could even hear.
Yeah.
How far away would you say we were?
Hard to say. We weren't.
It felt like maybe like half a mile away.
Maybe, yeah. We weren't very far, but we weren't incredibly close either.
Right.
Like from the parking lot anyway.
Right.
Like, or like
I thought it was going to be a bit clearer, but then I saw how like loud the crowd got, and I was like, oh, that's kind of a whisper from here.
Yeah. Yeah, it was definitely that was definitely like a situation, because like we getting down the stairs, and then we ended up just hanging out with a bunch of Swifties, like at the corner of like one of the parking garages.
Yeah, where you could like see clearest towards the stadium.
Yeah,
and
you could hear kind of.
You could, yeah.
It was
you
better.
Could hear it. I don't know if we had, if we gave it a fair judgment, because I think it was when whoever was opening was playing, and I've heard this thing where like concerts don't start off super loud until later on in the shows, so that I think that's for like ears, like safety, so you don't like, I don't know, blow your eardrums out like right away. It gradually increases in volume. So I don't know. We might have been able to hear it later on in the show, but we'll never know, because the next thing that happened was sort of insane. So I start to notice. Let me back up. So lot A that we were in was the lot that had a, what do they call it? A skywalk?
Yeah.
It's basically a big tunnel that leads you to the stadium. And, we saw the entrance of that, and it looked like there was a security guard. And I'm guessing they were going to, check for tickets. And I had thought about like maybe like flashing the screenshot we had, but I was like, I wasn't feeling in a risking mood. Anyway, so we didn't go through it. We're like, okay, lot A is probably as far as we can go. And I think maybe like one or two songs in to when like, we heard the opening, the Miss Americana and Cruel Summer opening, we noticed everyone's starting to move. Some people starting to run. And I was kind of like, what is going on? I was looking around and I was like, why is everyone running? Why are you running? And, FOMO got the better of me. And I was like, I'm down to fuck around and find out. So I'm just like, let's go. So
we followed all the Swifties.
We followed them down the tunnel, and it's so funny because I'm still trying to figure out what the heck is going on. I see one security guard like walking the same way the Swifties are walking, and I thought I heard him say, "Just so you know, we're gonna turn all you guys around." And I was like, "Oh fuck." And I thought, but then I was thinking, well, why don't you just do it now? And
that I feel like might have just been easier,
right?
To wait for them to be at the end.
Maybe, yeah.
Yeah.
I was thinking it was because maybe he was waiting for him to join all his other like security guard buddies to then enforce that to be like, all right,
because it wasn't just
around.
Security; it was police too. The police officers.
Yeah, there were security guards security guards, but then there were like police officers.
Yeah, there was like the security for the mall, but then there was like the police officers of like the county were also there.
Yeah. And so, I was kind of like watching and waiting, observing.
To see what would happen.
To see what was going to happen. Not going to get too close to the front because I'm not sure. Are we all going to get turned away or what's going on? And eventually there were so many that I see everyone moving forward. And at a certain point, I'm just like, all right, let's go. Let's follow. Let's blend in with the crowd. And we start moving along with them. And when we get towards like a small opening, like in the gates, with the guards, they're obviously letting people through. And I hear one guard say, "Welcome to the free section."
Yeah.
And I was like, what the fuck? The free section? Holy shit. And so that led us to the very front of the stadium.
Yep.
Obviously not into the stadium, but just out front.
Right out front, yeah.
Where basically I imagine this is what it was like in the Philly shows where people were just outside the stadium just listening to music.
Yep. We were just hanging out in the parking lot.
Yeah.
Like,
and I could very easily make a joke being like, oh, don't come here without a ticket, huh? No tailgating, huh? To MetLife's whole system. But honestly, I don't want to go that route. I want to say, whoever made that decision, literally, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you for letting us do that. Obviously, none of us were there to do any harm. We all just were there to have a good time. And I think, they realized that.
Yeah, I think they realized that. I think part of it was out of like safety for people because, they don't want people crossing highways to get to the lot. They want people who got tickets to the concert to be able to get into the concert.
Yeah.
And like they don't have all these crowds in front. Like I understand like where they were coming from. But obviously they've made a decision to be like, this is fine. This is chill.
Yeah,
like,
maybe after like the third song they were like, okay, I think we can.
Yeah, I think we can.
I think now is when we can.
Yeah. I wonder if they did that for previous days too. I wonder.
Yeah, I wonder.
Because, I don't know.
In my mind, I'm thinking maybe they saw how nights 1 and 2 went.
Yeah.
And they were like, okay, I think maybe we can do it for night 3.
Yeah. Maybe it was like a hush-hush thing. It's just not advertised.
Right, because like if,
we just got
if you
lucky.
openly welcome people, then it's really going to be a madhouse. But like, it's like the people that were there, it's just like, all right, well, you're here, so
exactly.
come on in.
Yeah, and it was like, they had to let people in. Like there were security guards, there were cops. That I was really impressed when we walked onto the parking lot, and there were just like cops lighting up people just like chill, like on their cars and stuff.
Yeah, people were leaning up against the cop cars themselves.
The cop cars, yeah, and the cops did not care. They were just chatting up with people. Like, they were like, whatever. Yeah. People were drinking, like...
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, it was just, like, really chill and, like, fun, and it was just, like, whatever.
Yeah, people brought chairs. And...
People brought chairs and, like, snacks and, like...
Yeah, some people were mad prepared for this, and what sucks is, like, we were prepared to tailgate it, like, out of the back of my SUV.
Yeah.
And we weren't prepared for that sky. What is it called?
Sky Bridge?
Sky Bridge.
Yeah.
I almost want to call it the Sky Gate. The Sky Bridge walkway tunnel thing to open up. We were just going to lot A to see how much better we could hear. We didn't bring anything.
Yeah, we didn't bring anything with us. Like
you at least had like your bag.
Oh yeah, I had my belt bag, but. So I had my chargers and stuff, but we didn't have any of our food or anything. Yeah.
I did not have any chargers, but I brought, we brought so many. We brought so many drinks and so many snacks. We had nothing.
Yeah. We brought because we thought we were going to be sitting up on the roof and just chilling with the Swifties in the car and eating and stuff. But we didn't think that we were going to walk. We didn't think we were going to be able to get to the stadium at all.
We didn't think the floodgates were going to open like that.
No. Because they had said not only was the parking lot closed off for ticket holders, but so is the Sky Bridge, everything. You weren't able to get to that section. It was going to be closed off, or you would need to have a ticket.
Yeah.
So it's I don't know, but that we got pretty lucky.
We did get very, very lucky.
Yeah, and imagine if we didn't even go down, because we could have not made that decision to walk down the stairs.
Yeah.
From the rooftop, and then
we would have been shit out of luck.
We would have just been shit out of luck, but we did, and when we did too.
And when we did, yes.
Yeah, because what if we just, what if it was later? What if it was, because there might not have been that rush of people.
Yeah.
To make us notice,
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Moral of the story, if you see people running, run with them. Fuck around and find out. It might be good.
Maybe. I don't know if that's a great thing. It worked out in this case.
It worked out in this case, and it'll work out for you. No, I'm kidding. Maybe not.
Hard to say. Use your judgment.
Yeah. Oh. So yeah. So we were basically right in front of the stadium. We couldn't. It was hard to hear Taylor when she was just talking. Yeah. But the songs we heard.
We definitely heard all the songs. It was very clear. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was awesome. Yeah, you could hear her when she was talking a little bit, as the night went on, but definitely not super early on because we got there pretty early, like right after You Need to Calm Down. Is when we got there. And they were literally singing You Need to Calm Down like in the tunnel.
Yeah.
Which is kind of ironic given like the police officers and the security guards.
Yeah.
So that's kind of funny.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. That front crowd, like right before you got into like the stadium, they were like singing it not in their faces. They weren't up in their faces, but it was
pretty close.
Yeah.
Because there was only like a small barricade, separating.
They weren't singing it at like the guards, but it was like, it just happened to be like there was, singing it
that was the song.
forward. Yeah, so it's like it definitely was one of those moments where it's just like, okay, this crowd could overpower you if they chose to, if they all hive mind agreed. So you might as well just let them through,
right? And it was pretty funny because it was just like all of the security guards and all the cops, like everybody was obviously on the same page.
Yeah,
because like nobody was like mad or annoyed about any of this. Like they were just like, go ahead.
I felt like everyone was like, all right, everyone be cool.
No one fuck up. Like,
and we'll be cool.
Yeah.
And it was.
It was totally
great.
fine. And the cops weren't even like lurking around really. Like they were just kind of staying on the edges of like the perimeter.
Yeah.
Like they weren't really like they didn't even need to like intercept anything, like anybody.
Yeah.
They didn't bother.
Nothing.
Yeah.
You saw nothing happen.
No, not literally. It was like the chillest interaction I've ever had with a cop. Like, yeah, like they were all really chill.
Yeah.
So it was fun.
So super thankful that we were able to, be that close as we could be to seeing Taylor
like
without
that was ideal.
actually seeing.
Yeah, like without seeing her, like getting concert tickets. Oh yeah,
because
ideal.
Now looking at how close we were versus where we had parked, I really don't think it would have been the same experience.
No, not at all.
Definitely not.
Definitely not. It would not have been, and it wouldn't have been nearly as fun because like we were surrounded by other Swifties and everybody was singing and dancing and it was fun. It was like a party.
And like while there were Swifties on top at the parking lot with us as well, we very much like joined the crowd. It was like there was a crowd of people, but I never felt crowded.
Yeah, everyone was very respectful of like everyone else's space.
Yeah,
which was nice for the most part. There were definitely some incidents that you saw in particular.
Kids will be kids.
Yeah, kids will be kids.
I'm gonna try. I will give them the benefit of the doubt, but man, do they have no sense of awareness around them sometimes?
Yeah, that's definitely true.
I'll just leave it at that. So yeah, we were able to enjoy all the songs from a distance that was as close to inside as possible. Mm-hmm. And what were some of your favorite songs that from the set list?
Let's see. I mean, definitely the opener, like Miss Americana.
Yeah.
And the Heartbreak Prince, like that's great.
What I'm kind of specifically talking about, like when we got there to the front.
When we got to the front,
hearing it live was great. They're all
great.
They're all great. Let me just say that first. It was all great to hear live. Many times I had to remind myself that like someone wasn't just playing a Taylor Swift song. It was actually her singing live.
Yeah, which is crazy because like she sounds good live.
So good.
Yeah, like insanely good live, and they're just so. I mean, they're all really, really great. But I really liked hearing just anything that was kind of like a vibe for like the crowd. That was like my fave.
Yeah, like the slower songs are great.
Yeah,
and obviously like that's more of like an emotional thing to like sing to, and like
you could always tell which ones the crowds knew better than others.
Oh yeah,
because of how much they were singing.
I was humbled very quickly because I had recorded a lot of videos of me singing along with some of the songs, and there were parts where like, oh, I gotta cut that out because I sang the wrong lyric and I do not want to be labeled as a fake Swiftie.
Yeah. Oh, that reminds me though. There was somebody who had said that to somebody else, like totally jokingly, like at the crowd behind us, like, oh, you're a fake Swiftie because you don't know the lyrics to this song or whatever. But like, obviously, like in all in good fun.
It was a joke.
Thing. It was a joke.
Good,
it wasn't a real comment.
Yeah, I feel like I don't know. Swifties don't. I hope they don't like gatekeep like that.
They don't. I haven't noticed a lot of gatekeeping. I'm sure some people do.
I'm sure some, yeah.
Yeah,
As
for
with
sure.
really any community, but
Yeah.
I like to feel like they're more like, hey, welcome aboard.
Oh yeah, exactly. Yeah.
'Cause it's a fun ride.
It is, yeah. I mean, Lover was great, obviously. Mm-hmm. And like, Fearless. I thought Fearless was fun because like the whole like we're in a parking lot and I want to dance with you in a parking lot lyric is great.
Yeah, when that lyric came on, like everyone like emphasized that.
Yeah, it was like perfect.
Yeah, everyone emphasized when that part came on, when that lyric came on, and because we're all literally in a parking lot listening to you, Taylor. Mm-hmm. And that was great. I know my personal favorite of the night was when Blank Space came on. And I could tell you what happened when Blank Space came on, but I would like to pass it off to Lex to sort of give you her perspective of the story of what happened. So tell me, Lex, what happened when Blank Space came on?
Well, I was sitting down on the pavement, just vibing it out, and then you were like standing up, and you asked me.
Well, hold on, I was sitting down too for a while, but my ass was hurting. That asphalt is not made for asses.
No.
I'm glad you were comfortable, but like, yeah, my feet were hurting from standing up, but eventually my ass was starting to hurt too. So, so I got up and like I was fine. I'm glad you were comfortable on there though.
Thanks.
Sorry, I made you stand up. But go ahead.
It's okay.
I just need to make that clear. Okay, go ahead.
Well, the song before you gave me like a warning, basically, being like, "Oh, I want to ask you to dance for a Blank Space."
You make it sound so ominous. A warning.
It's like, a warning.
I'm warning you. We are going.
Like it was like a warning that you're gonna have to get up. Basically,
yeah.
Like
I gave you a heads up.
Okay,
Let's not call it a warning.
Whatever. Semantics.
Semantics. Whatever. Warning, heads up, tomato. Go ahead.
But yeah. So obviously, Blank Space is important to radio.
Yes, if you haven't listened, we have a whole episode based on Taylor Swift and what she means for our relationship. Go check it out. It's episode 13. It's entry 13, I should say. And long story short, Taylor Swift song. When Blank Space came out was when you and I just started hanging out. It's a little unclear if we were hanging out as friends.
Murky.
As more than that.
Yeah. Regardless, we knew each other, and that was like the Taylor Swift time.
Yeah.
We were in the era of our friend relationship.
Right.
Yeah.
And I know half the song is kind of about how like she's made out to be this like crazy woman with all these ex-lovers who will tell you, she's insane. But the part that I like to focus on is how she's meeting someone new and, she doesn't know where this is going to go, if this is going to be forever or if this will go down in flames.
Yeah.
And that was kind of where I was at with you. Mm-hmm. I wasn't sure, what you were to me. Like, are we just going to be friends? Is there hope for more later on? Mm-hmm. Spoiler alert, yes. A lot more. And that's how I remember Blank Space. And then, years later, Lover comes out. And
mm-hmm.
we are very much in our Lover era.
Yeah. And but Blank Space is foundational, like to not just our like romance, but like our friendship as well.
Right. Right.
Like how many times do we, scream, sing that in the car, like that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Like it's very, very like us when Blank Space comes on.
Yeah. I hear Blank Space. The first thing I think of is you.
Yeah, same. And like I've definitely told that to people that like, oh, Blank Space is kind of like one of our songs. And people are like, that's a weird one. Like, so, like people
It
don't.
makes sense when you explain it.
Yeah, people don't. That one needs context.
It
because
needs context, yeah.
It's not like an easy one, like, oh, love story, or oh, like, long story
belong
short,
with
or
me.
lover, or yeah, you belong with me. Like, all the typical love songs.
Yeah.
It doesn't fit as well. But, it's like, it makes sense with our context and like how we started.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, okay. I gave you a heads up warning
Yeah.
to let you know that
You wanted to
I
dance.
wanted to dance with you
Yeah.
during blank space.
Which
So-
was perfectly like reasonable and acceptable for
Right,
like
so-
blank space.
right. So, go ahead, continue.
But yeah, so we were dancing and we were singing and we were just having fun. And you started saying some very nice things to me.
Yes, I did.
And,
Would you
some
I
of
can
it-
recite them right now.
Please, because some of them I don't 100% remember
Right.
for a
So,
very specific reason.
I pulled you in closer
Mm-hmm.
and I whispered sweet nothings into your ear.
Sweet Nothings is another one.
Another Taylor Swift
yeah.
song. No, I wasn't whispering the lyrics of Sweet Nothings into
Oh
her
my
ear.
god, that would have been so cute though.
What I did say was, baby, I love you, and that's all I really know. That's a quote from Love Story. I love you, and that's all I really know. Then I said, all I want to do is grow old with you. Anyone who knows me or listens to the podcast, you should know where the fuck that's from. I don't need to reference the quote. Y'all know, and if you don't, get out of here, fake Juandering fans. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. If you don't know, it's a Wedding Singer. And then I just want to apologize for not keeping up with the Twilight podcast. Doesn't make sense why I'm saying this right now in a second. I then go on to quote my boy Edward Cullen. I say to you, would you do me the extraordinary, I said favor by mistake, but I meant to say honor.
You did correct yourself.
I did corrected myself. Would you do me the extraordinary honor of marrying me? A harmless question. I'd asked you many times in a half joking, half serious way, and I already knew the answer to.
yeah.
You openly would answer yes anyway. So, I don't think you knew it was real
Oh god, no. Like
Until
I no,
I
like
got down on my good knee,
yeah.
the one with the fully intact ACL.
You really needed it for this.
I did. Thank God I have it. Thank God I have one left.
You
Anyway,
real.
that makes me sound like crippled. No, I'm fully able still.
You just happened to have a knee that needed surgical help. Like,
Anyway, I'm sure anyone listening to this right now is screaming. They're like, "Get on with it!"
yeah.
Yes, I nailed to the ground and pulled out a ring and said, "Will you marry me?"
Yeah. I said yes.
She said yes, and a crowd of Swifties were cheering us on.
That sounds like a bad meme, but it's true.
That sounds like a bad meme.
Like when when unbelievable things happen, and people are like, "Oh," and they all cheered, things like that.
Oh,
Like they'll say something like extraordinary or like strange or like really just like abnormal happened, and then you're like. And then they all cheered. Everyone
oh,
cheered.
I see. Yeah, no, but they all really did cheer. Like,
yeah, they all, which makes sense.
and it's so funny because like as it's happening, I realize that people are realizing.
Yeah, that was
what's happening.
was wild. That was very surreal.
But I was like, you know what? Right now, it's just you and me.
yeah,
It's just you and me.
yeah.
But it was nice to hear them cheering and clapping and
Yeah, that was
going
insane.
crazy.
Like, I did not know how to process any of that. Like, and the joke you made pretty much right after that with Shake It Off playing.
Yeah. So you said, I'm shaking.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, well, Shake It Off.
Yeah,
because
I
Shake It
died.
Off was the next song right after Blank Space.
That was so funny.
Yeah. And
That was like, I almost doubled over laughing. Like, that was really funny, which wasn't great with like my coughing. But
oh yeah, I felt so bad because you were coughing a lot.
yeah, it really was. Like, in terms of like physical health, not ideal. But in terms of like emotional happiness, yes, very happy.
So, were you surprised?
I was incredibly surprised. Like, I'm still kind of surprised. And like, I was absolutely like floored. Did not expect anything. Like, when I say utter disbelief, like, I have never been that surprised in my entire fucking life. And the main thing is because we always, for a really long time at this point, joked about, oh, like getting married, and like we've seriously talked about getting married too, but we've talked about getting married and joked about getting married and like things like that, and so like when you would do stuff like that, or when you would ask me questions, like I just never thought that it was like anytime soon. Like, I really genuinely thought that, oh yeah, this isn't gonna happen for a while.
Yeah, because how many times have I fake proposed with like either like one of my own?
You literally
rings
did it that morning.
I did, yeah, I did, and it was getting to a point where like I was nervous that you would think that like I am making this joke so much that I was like maybe compensating. Mm-hmm. I was misdirecting too much. And like that in itself was going to give it away.
You were psyching yourself out because I literally had no idea. Like, I was so, like, not oblivious, but like, just so like, I guess like, this isn't quite the right word, but like resigned to the fact that it wasn't going to be for a while. Because we had discussions and stuff like previously, like, timeline wise and like goals and everything, things that we wanted to like achieve.
Right.
Like during our anniversary, which is October, like in October. And so like, we had just a, touching of base on things. And so like, with that discussion in mind, like I really didn't think it was going to happen. Like at least this year, like I didn't think it was going to happen. And which was another line of misdirection, potentially.
Yeah.
But, yeah, no, completely shocked. Like, literally, as you were doing it, literally, as you were on one knee, I was like, no, you're not. No, like in my brain, I was like, no, you're joking. This is funny. You're gonna pull out a fake ring, and then you pulled out a real ring, and then I was like, is that the fake ring? Because I had made the joke like that morning too.
Okay, let's talk about this
ring?
fake ring. So,
Please.
So, I got in the ring, the real ring, at the beginning of May, literally May 1st. And, it said delivery time was like 3 to 4 weeks. And I was like, because it's, made to order. And I was like, okay, that's fine. And at this point, I didn't know when I was going to do it. I didn't even know if we were going to anything Taylor Swift. And then maybe like a week after I had ordered the ring, I see you get a package in a little box. Looks suspiciously like a jewelry box. And I see that inside you have opened up what looks to be an engagement ring. And I'm just like, you bought an engagement ring for yourself? And then you explained how like, it was a fake cheap ring that you mainly got because you wanted to see how the sizing fit and how, something that resembled like a real ring would look like. Yeah, like how it would look on my
finger. Yeah, like because I wasn't like sure, because you can't really tell when you're looking on a website. Like, what does a carat look like?
Yeah,
on someone's finger that's totally different than yours. And I was like, I don't know how that's gonna look. So I wanted to get like in the general realm of like what kind of carats do I like that kind of thing. Because I really didn't know. And I never had a ring that was really even like half a carat. So like I really just didn't know like what that was even supposed to look like. So I just bought like a really cheap, $10 fake one, like just to see like what is that going to look like. And yeah, but keep going.
So that fake ring was the stone was in the shape of an oval, and I know you had told me that you like either round or oval. Those are like your two favorite like stone shapes.
Yeah.
And the real ring I got you is round. The fake one you got yourself is oval. And then you were talking about, you're like, yeah, I like ovals. And I'm just like, fuck.
You're like shit.
Don't say that. Don't tell me you like ovals right now.
This is a bad time to tell me you like ovals.
So yeah, a little bit of me was just like, well, don't get too attached, darling. Yeah.
That's not the one you're going to be wearing.
Yeah. But yeah, I guess while we're on the subject, I can go through the specs of the ring.
Yeah.
It is 1.5 carats.
Yeah,
It's got
1.5 carats.
Yeah, 1.5 carats. It's got a hidden halo underneath it, which I think is cool because, halo.
I just like the look of hidden halos.
Yeah.
Because the ring that I sent you a while ago had a hidden halo.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, that I liked.
Yeah. And I also know I have like a whole like notes file in my iPhone notes of what Lex likes in a ring. And it's just, I'm pretty sure it's like years of notes compiled up. Anytime you've ever said anything about a ring, I had written it down just so I would remember come this time.
You are, if nothing but not prepared, very, very prepared.
Let me actually, I'm going to look it up right now.
Oh,
see what it says. I'm sure it's got to be recent. Yeah, here
I haven't looked.
What
I haven't
Lex
looked at it in a while.
What Lex likes for a ring? I have written down circles. Now she likes ovals too.
I know.
That's got to be an update.
I'm sure that is.
Solitaire stone,
Which
so
is
just one stone.
Yeah.
I have this in quotation marks. No fucking gold. And I haven't.
That's probably because I said that verbatim.
Yeah. That's exactly why. And then in parentheses, I have as if I didn't already know that.
Yeah.
Nothing on the band. So yeah, solitaire.
Yeah.
I have written down here no more than 2 carats. But the fake ring you got yourself is like 3 carats.
Yeah, the fake ring is like 3 carats, which that is I think too big.
See, okay. Well, here's another thing. I remember when you first got the fake ring that you said you liked the size, and
I do like the size.
That made me nervous. I was like, well, the real one's gonna be half that size.
Yeah. But
so
I do like the size, but ultimately I think it's a little too flashy, I would say, for my taste. This is a bit more like the real one. I mean, is a bit more like subtle, even though it's still a rather big stone.
Yeah.
So it's like that's nice. It's not like I'm flashing like my really expensive jewelry. Like it just feels like inauthentic. Basically, is what I'm saying.
Yeah, you're not like the showing off type.
No, definitely not.
You're not the like, look at me, look at my beautiful.
Especially with like jewelry like
diamonds.
that. I like very like simple, tasteful jewelry.
Yeah.
Ethical, if at all possible.
Yeah. And then I just have like a bunch of links you've sent me of like different kinds of rings that you've liked over the years. And actually a while back I bought off of Amazon, it was only like a few bucks, I think, a ring, like a finger ring size measurer that you just it kind of looks like a zip tie but like an adjustable. It's adjustable, and like where it's comfortable around your finger, like you tighten it until it's like comfortable around your finger, and it'll show you what size your finger was. And I made the excuse that like, I might, get a ring for myself, just a novelty ring, and I want to see what size my fingers were, and then I measured your ring finger as a joke to be like, just so I know for future reference.
Yeah, future reference.
And yeah, we found out you're a size 9, or at least that's the closest it can be.
Yeah.
Without going into like the quarter halves.
Yeah. Which
quarter halves, three quarters.
Yeah, which I think I'm definitely like, I'm not like a full size. Like I'm not an 8, I'm not a 9. I'm like kind of in the middle, but I'm not quite an 8.5 either.
Yeah.
Like 8.5 is like a little bit too snug. Mm-hmm. But this fits well enough, for sure.
Well, that's good. I'm glad it fits.
Mm-hmm. That was a question you even asked me.
Oh, that's right. That's one of the questions right afterwards. I asked you, I was like, does it fit?
Does it fit? I was actually wearing another ring. Like,
yeah.
Yeah, I was wearing my...
I didn't know if I should like take that ring off first, so I kind of just like
slid it on
with...
Yeah. Which honestly was fine. I just fixed it later.
You were wearing a very, very, very thin ring.
Yeah, just like a very...
So I'm just like, you can stay on.
Yeah, you can stay on. I think
like,
it was smoother doing it that way.
Yeah, because like, in my mind, I'd mentally like prepared, going down on one knee, but like I felt like taking out the box itself, presenting the ring, and then taking the ring out and actually putting it on your finger. That was like, oh yeah, I actually have to do this. I knew I had to do it,
this far.
But like. Actually, like doing it, I was like, "Oh yeah, this is, we're doing this."
Yeah, we're doing this.
And like, obviously, I'm a little nervous.
Yeah, of course.
Not about the answer, but like just doing it, like smoothly.
Yeah.
And now we have the full attention of every Swiftie around us. All like hooting and hollering, clapping, cheering us on. Here I am trying to be like, don't drop the ring, just get it on there. There's another ring on her finger. I don't care. I'm just push past it. and I do want to give a shout out to all the Taylor Swift fans around us. They were all great. A lot of people came up to just say congratulations.
Yeah, they were so sweet.
And a few of them even said, "Oh, I got videos of the whole thing. I took pictures. Can I send it to you?" And I was like, "Yes, please. Thank you so much. I appreciate that."
Yeah, it was really cool.
And so, yeah.
Because, we didn't plan anything like that.
Right. I'd seen on TikTok, lots of people are getting engaged at Taylor Swift concerts. And I'd seen people write notes and give them to strangers that say, "Please record me. I'm going to propose." And the reason I didn't do that was because...
we didn't have anything.
What?
We didn't have anything.
Well, honestly, I didn't know up until really once Lover and Love Story had already passed.
Yeah.
That I had made the decision to propose to you during blank space. Mm-hmm. And
like you were really going on the fly kind of thing.
Yeah. That makes it sound like I wasn't prepared. But I knew it was going to be between those 3 songs. I didn't think I wanted to do it during Love Story because I felt like that was a little cliche, maybe not the most original, and I kind of wanted that to solidify the fake out that
it really did though, because I'm like, if you're going to do it, aren't you going to do it now?
No.
Little did I know.
Little did you know that this was just one last... Yeah, this is just one more piece to really solidify the misdirection.
Yeah. I was completely under the assumption that this is just a fun, cool day, another, great adventure that we're doing. And then here you are actually getting down on one knee.
Yeah. I wanted to do it during Lover.
Yeah.
But here are reasons why I didn't do that. One, Lover is very early.
Yeah, it's incredibly early in the set.
In the set list, yeah. And honestly, by the time we had gone through the Sky Bridge and we were at the front of the stadium, it was maybe 2 songs later, I think.
Yeah.
Lover started playing, and I was like, hold on. I do not think I'm ready for this right now. I think we need to simmer. And luckily, Blank Space is in the later half, the much later half. And I was like, okay, I think that's going to be the time to do it.
Yep.
Another reason why I didn't do it during Love Story was that I wanted to say a few words to you before I did it. And, the part where in Love Story where if you're going to propose, it's going to be the part.
Yeah.
I feel like I couldn't talk to you before that.
Yeah.
And that might give it away.
Exactly. Which is fair. Yeah, which is totally fair. And I get it. And Love Story in and of itself was also very early. So that was
early as well.
Yeah, so it was like you definitely wouldn't have been able to do a lot of like the faking out, and you also wouldn't have been able to have a lot of time to like prepare or like anything.
And also,
like,
tell me how much you remember after Blank Space.
oh, basically nothing.
Yeah,
like I remember like the last two songs and like vaguely like Shake It Off because you made a joke and I laughed, and then after that I don't really remember much because like pretty much as soon as you were done like proposing, like Shake It Off started playing and everyone was freaking out and like being really happy because they just saw a proposal and also Taylor Swift. So it was a good celebratory song right after.
Yeah.
But then like after that I don't remember much. I remember Mastermind coming on and then Karma because those were the last two songs, and like after that it was
I don't think I remember Mastermind.
Yeah, I remember Mastermind.
I remember Karma though.
I just remember Mastermind because I was like, I don't know, I just really like that song. But and that was like when I was finally like tuning back in.
Oh no, I do remember Mastermind because I looked at you during like the chorus and I was like, the part where it goes, "'Cause I'm a mastermind and now you're mine," and I grabbed your arm and I was like, "Now you're mine."
Yeah.
Like I put a ring on it.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, I'm glad you didn't do it super early because I would have just been like not remembering like most of the show probably. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, there was the one Swiftie that just like casually roasted you. That was kind of funny.
I didn't think that was a roast. So
I don't think it was a serious roast.
Yeah, someone came up to us afterwards and asked us how long we had been together. I told her we were coming up on 8 years, and she was like, "Oh, okay, so it was like finally, right?" And I was like, "Yep." And she said, "What took you so long?" And like that's a question like I'm more or less prepared to answer.
Yeah.
I had an answer ready to go. The real reason's money.
Yeah, the real reason is we've been broke for a long time.
Yeah, things are expensive, man.
Things are expensive. This economy, like.
Yeah. Come on, Biden. No.
Rings are very expensive.
Yeah.
Weddings are even more expensive.
Rings and things, they're all expensive.
Rings and things.
Yeah. But I told her, I was like, well, I don't really have a good excuse for that, but now felt like the right time. We're here. I did it during Blank Space because when we had first met, that kind of described our relationship. We weren't sure what we were to each other. And then, by the time Lover came out, we were very much in our Lover era, and that house ain't burning down.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure I said something like that.
Yeah, that's about right.
So, yeah. No harm, no foul. Nobody, no crap. No.
That's a different one.
That's a different one. But yeah, no, I didn't take any offense to that. I didn't feel roasted at all. I was just like, I know this question's going to come.
Yeah,
up.
for real. I mean, and it makes sense because it's, when you've been together for as long as we have, people are like, people just ask. Like, people assume we are already a lot of the time anyway. So it's like, not really, it's not a surprise to anybody, really.
So obviously, afterwards you had a lot of questions from me.
Oh my God, so many. So many questions.
Just about everything. And if you
wanted to know all the details.
Yeah, obviously, as you would naturally. But if you want to like repeat those questions so I can answer them now in this very documented form, I'd be happy to answer them.
That would be great. Do you remember what the first one I asked was?
Are you for real? No, I'm kidding.
Are you for real?
No. I don't think you. No. That was just a joke. You didn't actually say that.
I mean, well, that's not a far stretch from like what I could have said. Like I are you for real? Seriously? Like any of those would have.
I'll tell you
probably
what.
Worked.
I held your hands afterwards. Oh my God, your hands were cold.
And you kept saying it
and
like
clammy. I was like, whoa.
Because I was legitimately incredibly surprised, absolutely in disbelief. Like, I cannot overstate how absolutely like, just like shocked I was. Like, I would have cried if I wasn't so fucking shocked. Like, I didn't cry because I was just like, this isn't real. This is fake. This is fake. Yeah, this is all fake. None of this is real. Because, like, the whole thing, like, us, first off, I was like, by some miracle, like, I didn't think we were going to get tickets. But, like, you know, maybe it was happening. I was trying to be, like, optimistic about it. But, like, you know, I figured not super likely with the context of Taylor Swift and everything right now. But the fact that we got into the front of MetLife, I was like already like, whoa, there's no way.
That definitely was like a green light to me. Because I think I was prepared to propose to you in the parking lot or like the parking garage. But in hindsight now, I'm just like, that just would have not been the same.
Oh yeah, definitely not been the same. But also, like, on that same level, like, I also wouldn't have been, like, yeah, it might have not been the same, but I also wouldn't have hated that, like,
Yeah.
because I was just happy that you did.
Yeah.
And that you, like, put forth the effort and,
Yeah.
you know, got a ring and, you know, you tried to make it special.
Yeah.
Like, that was really, like, the whole of what I wanted. But it was definitely an added perk that it was around all the Swifties and it was in front of the stadium.
Yeah.
Like, that was wild. And I've said in the past, like, I didn't really want, like, anything, like, super public.
Yes.
But that was still really, really good. Like, I didn't hate that.
Yeah, so
means.
that's funny because so that brings me up to like how I imagined I would propose to the person that I wanted to marry. You know, thinking about and
Like when you were
fantasizing
younger.
this moment when I was younger, right? And how I originally thought it was going to be super big, like grand gesture, something very planned out, like big, like I'm thinking flash mob type level or something. Like I'm pulling some huge strings. I really thought I had to like one up like any proposal I'd ever seen because I wanted it to be the best. I don't know, I wanted perfection.
Yeah.
I'm a
very much you. Yeah.
And throughout our relationship, you had mentioned that, you know, that a public proposal is not something you really like. And I get it now, especially if you don't know the answer to the question beforehand.
Yeah.
Now it's like that is pressure for you to say yes.
Yeah.
And not a good pressure.
Oh, no, definitely not.
So, but obviously I already knew.
Yeah, you already knew the
would say
answer.
yes.
And like we already discussed everything.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's not like I had made us the center of attention before I even started proposing.
Yeah.
Whereas some of these like public proposals will do. It was more of like whoever saw, and very much like people quickly caught on afterwards. But it's not like I took like a megaphone and was like, "Hey everyone!
Yeah.
I'd like to make an announcement."
Yeah. Which was nice because I don't think I would have liked that very much.
I don't think I would have wanted that either. Like,
yeah, like all that attention, like all those eyes. Like, no, thank you. Like, it was very sweet that, you know, when people came up to us and it was very nice that people took the videos because that's great to have and like the pictures and things. Like, that's really nice. But, yeah, generally I probably wouldn't have wanted something so public, but like it just made sense, like with the Taylor Swift context. And
yeah, I mean, could you imagine if we actually got tickets, we were inside
right?
there?
Oh my god, that would have wild. It's funny because like I don't even know what a week ago, 2 weeks ago, I was like, you know, it's really great when people propose to Taylor Swift because you know everything's just right there and it's perfect. It's like,
yeah, and I'd said, how many TikToks have I shown you of people getting engaged?
oh, so many.
I was basically telling you, like,
yeah.
I was basically watching. I was like, you like this?
Yeah, pretty
yeah.
much.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Taking notes.
Exactly. Like I was like I literally pretty much verbatim said that like you don't really have to do much. It's just everything's all good and you propose and then
That's
you get
true.
the party and like you're fine. It's like,
Yeah, yeah,
that's basically what happened. Like,
yeah. And so, I mean, the timing of like me getting the ring and then like us going to see Taylor Swift could not have been better.
it could not have been better timing.
Because, yeah, again, I didn't know really up until maybe like a week or two before that I wanted to do it during the Taylor Swift thing. And even if we didn't go, there were instances where like I might have done it that day if we were like going to be in the area, like if we went out to dinner or something, or if not, I might have just figured out a different time. But everything's kind of lined up. The only thing that didn't line up was like being inside and like actually having tickets, but it is what it is. You know, fuck you, Ticketmaster. We all hate you.
Yeah, that's pretty rough. Not great. Don't recommend.
No. All those hours of refreshing and joining the queue and just getting kicked out. Ugh.
Yep. So much hate, but
But it's so funny because I was also thinking, I was like, what if we do get tickets? How am I going to sneak this ring in?
yeah, that would have been really hard, I think, for you to do.
Yeah, I was looking at this, like the stadium's like policies and whatnot, and you had to have like a specific kind of bag, which I happen to have because I've had it for a different event, but it's like a clear plastic bag, and it has to be a certain size, and obviously like you're going to be able to see what's inside, and you would see like a ring box, and what I had settled on is, you know, when going through security, I would have just attached the ring on like my key, like carabiner, and just hope you weren't looking at my keys.
Yeah.
And then, you know, found a way to put it back in the box. I don't know, maybe go to the bathroom and do it there.
Yeah.
So that's what I would have done. And if, I don't know, like if I still got stopped somehow, I would have told the security guard, it's like, hey, listen, this is what this is. Do I need to spell it out for you? I'm about to propose.
Yeah. Like
Let me through.
Yeah. Like,
let this go. I'm not going to kill anyone with this.
Yeah, for real. Like, the only one in danger is my girlfriend, and that's because she might faint. That's it.
Yep.
But yeah, I was completely oblivious and like shocked, like completely.
Yeah, because I was worried, like, what if the ring didn't come in time? Because I know we had this planned, and the delivery time said between 3 to 4 weeks, and that was right at when, like,
right at the mark.
Right at the mark of when the show was, because it was May 28th, and I had gotten the ring May 1st. Literally, that is 4 weeks. So I was like, please be like towards the 3 week side.
Yeah.
And it was a bit of an emotional roller coaster watching the tracking, because I didn't hear anything until like maybe like May 20th, May 21st. And within the span of like 48 hours, it went from a shipping label has been created, then 2 days pass, I'm hearing nothing, and then I hear your package is delayed. I'm just like, oh fuck. And I was like, why? Also, I didn't realize this was coming from the UK. Like, that's where it was based out of. So, you know, it was being imported from outside the country.
It's probably like customs and stuff.
Right.
Maybe held it up.
Right. But then slightly after that, it was like, it'll be delivered tomorrow. And it wasn't even tomorrow when it said it's out for delivery now. And I was like,
Crazy.
oh shit. And then all of a sudden it was at my front door. And you happened to be home at this time. And I had to quickly get it and be like, oh, I got a package. And then you asked what it was. And I was like, fuck.
Where did you hide it right then? Like, where did you put it?
Right under my desk here.
Put it under your desk.
I told you, yeah, it was something for my PC.
Yeah, I remember
and
that.
I guess you bought that.
I did, because I'm like, you having problems with your monitors.
I was
like,
worried that I would have to sign for this, because like it makes sense. This is like an expensive ring.
Yeah. Even then, though, you could have just put that off and say, oh, it's a PC part. You know, like you could have even
so I'm
made
glad
that
I
work.
made that up on the fly, and you know, you bought it. But yeah, luckily it came in time. And
Yeah, that's a testament to like how much I trust you because like I literally had no, like I had no idea, but also be like I don't go through your things really. Like you don't go through my things.
We're
like,
not the couple that goes through each other's things.
Yeah,
like, we
no.
have an immense amount of trust for each other. And
Oh yeah.
for good reason, because
100%.
like we're trustworthy people.
Yeah, and like even when you were showing me something like a
Yes.
conversation like with your sister, and I like was
There was evidence.
Yeah, I went to
She
scroll
was the
up.
only person that I had told when I bought the ring because I wanted to share it with someone because like that's exciting, and I told her, and I had deleted the photo evidence, but there were still remnants of our conversation, and I was like, oh, I don't want you seeing that. So when I was showing you a different conversation we were having, I made sure to quickly scroll away from that old conversation. And I think you briefly caught on to that, but then let it go real quick.
Yeah, I did. I was like, I caught on, and I was like, that's weird. But I was just kind of like, all right. And then I just like moved on.
That was like, would you say that was like the one time you might have been suspicious of something?
That was like, that was the one time I was suspicious. But I was like, I didn't know if it was like a ring or like that didn't even cross my mind.
Okay.
I just thought maybe it was like something you just didn't want to share or like because I figure like if you wanted to share something with me, you would have shared it with me, kind of thing, or that even like that you were just trying to be like, this is where this starts, kind of thing, like this conversation, this is where this starts, and then like read down. So yeah, I didn't really think much of it. I thought it was weird, but I was like, okay, and like I moved on in my life. And like I definitely like pride myself on being a very observant person like most of the time. This way, no, like not at all. Not at all.
Well,
like,
I pride myself on being able to be a man of surprises.
oh yeah, you definitely lived up to that with this one.
Thank you.
Because like I think part of it too is that like, yeah, we had talked about it multiple times. Like we always joke about it. Like we always have had conversations about it for like the longest time at this point. And
You've always made jokes about where's the ring.
yeah, exactly.
And I got tired of that. So I'm
yeah,
just like,
you're like, I'm tired of this shit.
here you go. No more jokes now.
No more fucking jokes now. That's the entire reason you got me a ring. But yeah, so like all of that combined with like I just didn't think it was gonna happen because I we understand our financial situation and like where we are and stuff,
Yeah.
and I was just like, oh yeah, not probably not in the cards right now, kind of thing. And like for you to actually do it, like to say that I was surprised was like like an understatement for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, and I'm sorry you weren't feeling well physically.
Yeah,
during the
that
day,
was the
but-
only downside because this shit came on real quick and out of nowhere.
But I hope you made your day a little bit better.
Yeah. Oh, it definitely made it much better. Like, I really wish I was feeling better, but it certainly helped when I had a pretty ring to look at.
Yeah.
And you said all those nice things to me.
Yeah. Well, it's because I love you.
I love you too.
Thanks.
You're welcome.
Yeah, and it's so funny because like you kept saying that like, oh, I'm glad I wore this pretty dress because you were wearing like a really pretty like rainbow dress.
Yeah. Oh, I made the joke of like, I got engaged to a man wearing my gayest dress.
Yep.
It's literally a gay pride dress that I bought this year just because I wanted something like, pretty for pride
Yeah.
or whatever. But I just really like wearing it in general.
Yeah.
I just think it's
And
nice.
you were thinking about possibly wearing something
Oh,
maybe more comfortable.
More comfortable, yeah. I was thinking of straight up wearing like some nice joggers, but like sweats essentially, like just something
Yeah.
that's like way more comfortable for like the level of shit I was feeling,
Yeah.
and how long our car ride was.
And honestly, my main goal is, for you to be comfortable. So,
Yeah.
if that's what you wanted to wear, then I wouldn't have stopped you.
Yeah.
I may have encouraged. I may have, been like, it's even though we're not seeing Taylor Swift, like let's, dress up for the event a little bit.
Yeah.
But ultimately, I wouldn't have pushed too hard if you were like, no, I'm not feeling too well. Let me just
Wear something comfy.
go in my PJs.
Yeah, I mean, I would have gotten out of my PJs into something else, but not. It might have not been much better. So I did have that thought. Like as we were getting ready, I was like, I just don't want to wear. Putting on clothes was too much. Like I was just kind of like, I'm tired still. And like I don't want to wear anything that's like too complicated.
Yeah.
But that's where dresses help sometimes, because like dresses aren't very complicated to put on.
Yeah.
It's all like one piece.
Yeah.
So I was like, this is good. And I put on like a jacket because I knew it was going to be chillier later. I'm so glad I did that.
Yeah.
Because like it got kind of chilly.
Yeah.
Once the concert got later. So that was nice. But I ended up really liking the outfit I was wearing.
Yeah, and I felt really good about what I chose to wear because you kept complimenting me all day, being like, I like what you're wearing.
Yeah.
Just thank you. I said thank you.
Yeah.
And
I was hyping you up and I didn't even know it.
yeah. And like
but I just do that normally anyway.
I had planned the outfit the night before because, I wanted to, one, look good for you.
Oh, thanks.
And look good for, obviously, the proposal, but also, like, look nice for amongst the Swifties. I don't have anything Taylor Swift themed, but
still look nice. Yeah.
So let's just take a minute to appreciate the fits.
Yeah.
We talked about yours. You were wearing a rainbow dress. You had a belt.
Oh yeah, it was like a belted like Empire style belt. Mm-hmm. And it was like it's kind of 70s looking. It's very like thick.
Yeah.
And even like the dress is kind of 70s looking because it's like a vertical pride flag basically, just like all rainbow. And then like I had on it like just a jean jacket, like a normal like trucker kind of jacket.
Mm-hmm. And I was wearing I had a black jean jacket on. Underneath that I had a like shirt Henley that was like kind of oat colored, I would say.
That's a great way to describe that color.
Yeah.
Oaty.
Yeah. I have coincidentally the pants I'm wearing right now are they're like from American Eagle. They're kind of, I guess they're like a golf pant kind of.
Yeah.
These are like in a dark navy blue.
Yeah.
I normally like to wear black or gray, but I was like, let me throw in what color I have for
I kind of like that though because it matched my my belt bag.
It did, yeah. This is exactly the same color as your like little belt bag.
Yeah. So it was navy.
And I was wearing my white Adidas sneakers, which you also were wearing white Adidas, right?
No. I was wearing my Pumas.
Your Pumas, that's right.
But like I was going to wear my Adidas because I'm like, we could match. But then I was like,
yeah.
But then you convinced me that we're going to be walking a lot, and
I told you like, please wear something comfortable.
My other shoes are more comfortable.
As much as I appreciate you matching me, like, no.
I want you to be comfy.
I want you to be comfy. And that's where like I'm just like, okay, I'm really going to push comfort.
Yeah, for that. And they honestly were like the best shoes I think I could have worn for all the walking. They were so comfortable.
That makes me happy.
They have like the nice cloud foam in them. Yeah, they were so cushy to walk on. Mm-hmm. Especially when we were running in that tunnel.
Yeah.
My Adidas would have fell off my feet, that's for sure. Like, but I'm trying to think of for posterity's sake, for the podcast and all, I want to think of more questions to ask.
Okay.
Like, can you think of other questions that I've asked you that I just can't think of at the moment?
You have asked me, like, who knows? And I told you really only my sister. Mm-hmm. And I did hint to our friend Jeffrey,
who was also on the podcast,
who has also been on the podcast, that I wanted to do it this year. Mm-hmm. But he had no idea, and neither did I up until recently, like when I wanted to do it, where I wanted to do it, how I was going to do it.
I guess like a follow up to that is, how long ago did you tell him that? And like how? Was it like in person or text?
It was in person.
In person.
Yeah. And he was like, oh, that's cool. He's very supportive.
Yeah.
Good guy, that Jeffrey.
Good guy. We like him.
We like him.
We keep him around.
Yes. Not to take us off topic of, questions like you had asked me, but going to the outfits, what did you think of all the Eras Tour outfits that you saw? I want to talk about one in particular. And
I think I know which one you're talking
about. But what did you see?
I liked a lot of the outfits. I liked a lot of like the bejeweled themed ones, like the best, like the ones that were like shimmery. I thought those were cool. I really liked even some of the simpler ones were cool, like just the people wearing like older, like Taylor Swift like merch. Like I saw a couple people wearing like red merch, which I thought was cool.
Yeah.
This other girl in front of us had like All Too Well. Like t-shirt on and had all the lyrics to All Too Well on it. Well, it was like a sweatshirt. Yeah, it was really cool.
Yeah, I think the older ones are cool because it's got a little bit of a status symbol.
Yeah,
like,
it's a little bit of a nod.
How long you've been a Swiftie.
Yeah, which is pretty cool. I'm trying to think of some other ones. There were some that were just like random fun. Like ones like I don't know if you saw the girl in front of us, but there was like she was wearing like a skirt, like a grass skirt, and then like a tube top, and then like a cowboy hat for like cowboy like me.
Lots of cowboy hats.
Yeah, lots of cowboy hats.
People were even selling cowboy hats.
Yeah, they were selling cowboy hats, which isn't surprising.
Yeah, which I mean, a little bit of talking into. I might have got one for myself.
Right.
I might have walked away with a pink cowboy hat.
Yeah, that'd been funny.
Been like, well, I'm never wearing this again unless I'm at the Taylor Swift concert. Cause
honestly, right.
That's the only time. But
yeah, all the outfits were really cool. I'm sure they would have been even better, like inside.
Yeah. I'm sure the ones inside were, went even crazier.
Yeah.
I saw on TikTok someone had dressed up as her cat's character.
Oh yeah.
And then she kind of acknowledged that person. By like making that like rawr growl motion with her hand. And they went crazy, and I think that's so cool. But the one that I wanted to talk about, the one that we both saw, I pointed her out to you multiple times. I was like, "What is that? What is she wearing? I don't get that reference." Oh, I got it once it came up.
I got it once it came up too.
I first thought she looked like a metal can.
Yeah,
and I'm just like, what?
And that totally threw me off when you said it, because I was looking at it like through your eyes. And I was like, I don't know. I don't get it.
I was like, that must be some deep cut reference that I am not aware of.
Yeah, that's what you thought. You literally said that to me. You're like, that must be something I just don't understand.
And well, to be fair, in the moment, I didn't understand it, but like it wasn't until I believe was it All Too Well?
Yeah, All Too Well, because the refrigerator light.
Yeah.
Dancing in the refrigerator light.
Yes, she was dressed up as a refrigerator.
Yep.
And during that lyric, she opened up the doors of her refrigerator costume, and all her friends were dancing in front of her and were like freaking out. And like
so funny.
Just like the dedication that is just for that one single moment.
Yep. But
all that dedication
for her to dress up like a refrigerator, and then have everyone dance around her, I think that's perfect. And it wasn't even for the concert, inside. It was outside.
Yeah, that's another thing too. Oh man,
just the dedication is awesome.
You gotta appreciate it. You gotta applaud that. That was awesome. Shout out to you, refrigerator girl.
Yeah, that was really cool.
I wish I got a video of it. I don't think I have.
I can't tell. I need to check my All Too Well video. Because I was recording during All Too Well.
I'm hoping.
I hope I caught that.
Maybe we'll see her on TikTok. Who knows?
Maybe. I'm the refrigerator girl.
Yo, we saw you. We're the proposed people.
Yeah.
Proposal people.
Oh, there's also a promposal.
There was a promposal, yes. And that was sweet.
That was very sweet.
Sorry, I one-upped you.
Yeah, just different parts of life. It's fine.
Yeah. But you'll get
cute.
there.
Yeah, it was super cute, regardless.
Yeah. Another just miscellaneous thing. After the concert was over, we were walking back towards our parking garage. I heard a saxophone being played, and they were playing, I think, Shake It Off. And I was like, that's really cool. I have such a soft spot for live music and musicians, and I just so happened to have some cash on me, and I was like, this is a person who deserves a tip. And I was so happy to be able to tip them. I went up to him. I think I said something like, never stop. Always keep playing.
Yeah.
And he looked at me. He smiled. He was like, first of all, he greeted me like I was an old friend. He was like, "Hey, buddy," and then he reached out, grabbed my head, and patted me like I was a puppy.
Yeah.
Like rubbed my hair.
Yeah.
And normally I might be like, "What the fuck?" But in that moment, it was so endearing.
Yeah.
Like it was like it was a great moment. I loved it. And buddy, I hope you keep playing your saxophone.
Yeah.
I hope you keep playing music.
It was super cool.
It's a gift, and it's wonderful. And I'm happy that I could have given you a little tip.
Yeah, that part was great. Also, the time before it, when they were singing in the tunnel, like all the Swifties.
Oh yeah, they were singing our song.
Our song, yeah.
I wonder why and how they chose that.
Someone probably
did someone just start singing and then
it.
like 2, 3 started singing? And then
I think it also might be because our song, like the Swiftie song, basically, like saying it, that the Swiftie song is our song.
Oh, see,
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Well, it's not like an established thing. I just think it made sense in the context for all the Swifties to be singing our song.
Oh, okay.
But I think that was cute.
So yeah, that all happened, and honestly, it was a great night. I would call it a big success. And we're not entirely sure yet. We're not decided on how we're gonna tell people that we're proposed.
That's something we've never really talked about.
Yeah, this is kind of like the start of our relationship. Like, we didn't really tell people we were dating right away. We just told some close friends, and this is kind of bringing me back to that. But yeah, we're still not entirely sure how we want to like tell people. And this is, I guess, a VIP sneak preview, however you want to call it, for the people who are true listeners to our podcast. You will know first.
Yeah.
And
if you know, you know.
Right. Because like, obviously I could have titled this something that kind of hinted towards that, but we wanted to keep it a little bit vague. And if you're here, then and until you see like a very definitive like public post about us being engaged, if you could keep this little secret between us, that would be great. Feel free to message us, DM us, if you're listening to this and you're like, "Oh my God, you're engaged." But let's keep it to like private messages for now.
For now.
For now, until we figure out what it is, what the fuck we want to do.
Yeah, what we want to do. We actually have a real discussion about it.
Yeah.
Because we haven't talked about it too much.
Yeah. So if you publicly tell us congratulations or anything like that, don't be offended if I delete it real quick.
Yeah, for real.
But yeah, we're engaged, baby.
I know.
Is it weird to...
Surreal.
Right.
Yeah, very
Are you
weird.
going to get used to calling me your fiance?
I don't know.
Am I still just going to be your partner? Your partner.
I think it depends on whether or not we decide to be very like open about
That's
the
true.
whole.
Yeah. That's
like,
true.
I might transition to saying that, but I feel like you'll still always be. I'll still say partner.
Yeah.
You can't say girlfriend anymore.
Fuck. My friend.
Oh Jesus, that's even worse. Like. I go from fiance to friend. Like, did we get a divorce already? Like,
no. Your pal, Linda.
Oh my God. That's a whole nother level. Oh my God. It's not even a joke. That's awful.
And if you're asking, when's the wedding? To that I say, good fucking question.
Yeah, no one knows.
We are not in a rush at all.
Yeah, definitely not in a rush.
But, when it's my wedding day. All our problems melt away. You can count on me, 'cause love is what I do. And I'll write your name. Don't say I didn't, say I did for you. Boys only want love if it's torture. Baby, I love you. And that's all I really know. All I want to do is grow old with you. Would you do me the extraordinary favor? Would you do me the extraordinary honor of marrying me? Will you marry me?
Yes.
That's it? That's it? That's what people say.